Do you have any questions? Okay.
Yes, I sure do. Now, what are your views on traditional leadership and submissiveness in a godly marriage?
In a godly marriage? Okay. I'm not quite familiar with that.
So the man being the leader and the provider, and the woman not necessarily just being the nurturer, but she will lean more towards that. And
I believe that a man wants to always feel like a man in his relationship. And being able to lead is what a man needs in order to feel affirmed in his ability to be a man for himself and in the relationship. However, for a man to believe that he is in the right every time and able to make the final decision that ultimately affects our lives in addition to the lives of our children is an imbalanced perspective on submission. I believe submission in a sacred perspective is aware of the sacredness of self, but also the sacredness of the reflection, meaning you are honored and affirmed by God, and so am I. You sit in a throne in your world, and so do I. And so, in the same ways that you would need and want me to be submissive to you, I also would need and want you to be submissive to me. Meaning, bowing to my divine femininity, the ways in which I am called to be the leading feminine energy in our lives, understanding that I have the last say-so when it comes to how I show up in the world, because I am being guided by the God within me, and then also allowing me to have the last word when it comes to the best way to nurture the children, seeing as though I have been the one bestowed by God, capable of bearing them, birthing them, and rearing them. And then collectively, together, you and I, we make decisions for the togetherness of our lives. So as long as you can honor me by allowing me to stay seated in my throne while we collectively decide on the best way forward, I will be submissive to your gavel. Is how I feel about that. And I will also always ensure that you feel and can freely and openly express what it is to be a man in your world. Even if that means playing the role of a certain kind of submission so that you are affirmed in being able to lead. Yeah. Because a man will never know the mind of a woman. And a woman will never know the heart of a man. And so, as long as we can honor each other, I think we can have a great time getting to know the universes of the other kind, and then also sharing the beautiful things that we can co-create.